Welcome to the Statesman Talk. I'm your host, Anna Chaudhary, and I have with me Dr. Ranjeet Mehta, who's the Secretary General and CEO of the PHDCCI. Mr. Mehta, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you.
So I'd like to ask you about the union budget. What are your expectations? What do you think will be, what are the changes that you're expecting to be included?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me in your podcast.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks. So, union budget is, in fact, this year we have a lot of expectations as last year was election year. And we understand that, the most of the money could not be utilized
Yeah.
because of election and all. So I think industry is upbeat about the upcoming union budget. The first thing for any country, especially a country like India, which is emerging economy, and also we want to become a developed country by 2047.
Do you think
Therefore,
it's an achievable target?
of course it is. We have 1.4 billion people, and 65% of those people are very young.
Yes,
So
we are
below
the
35 years of age. So we have the advantage of being young country in the world. So, and we have seen, the history has always seen that it is the young people who transform anything. They have been responsible for the transformation.
Yeah.
This is what we expect this time. Now coming to the union budget, I think the first focus will be on infrastructure. We feel that infrastructure is a backbone. When economy grows, then the first stress that comes is in the infrastructure. So when I'm talking about infrastructure, it is not only the physical infrastructure, it is social infrastructure, it is digital infrastructure. I think that will be the focus area.
Could you talk about the social infrastructure? What do you mean by the social infrastructure?
Social infrastructure means like what is the health infrastructure, what is the education infrastructure in our country. So, and then physical infrastructure, of course, we have the best of the roads in the world, and expressways are we have seen that we have the best of the expressways. But what we need to do is we need to really focus on increasing our railway network.
Okay.
Though there has been tremendous
Work done on this aspect.
work done on this, especially in Modi government last 10 years. But I feel that it is the railway infrastructure which is very critical. And we expect that the outlay for the infrastructure sector will be at least 20% more than the last union budget. This is what we are expecting. And what happens there when you talk of infrastructure, it is not only the infrastructure affects many things.
Yeah.
1 rupee that we spend in infrastructure gets 3 times growth for the economy. So therefore it is very, very important, and it generates jobs. People get jobs, and we need a lot of we have a lot of young people who are coming into the workforce every year. Therefore, we need the jobs for them. So therefore, infrastructure investment really has a rippling effect in the whole economy.
Okay. So also, I believe that as more jobs would be created, people would have the capacity to spend more. So the economy would get a boost from that as a result.
Absolutely. When you give money in the hands of people, then definitely where they will go, they will spend in the economy. So finally, I mean, that is going to come back, and it is going to boost the economy. So these are the advantages.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, how well do you think that India is doing globally in the manufacturing sector?
You see, manufacturing sector is very critical, and it is contributing around 18% to the economy. So what we have is we have in mind, the government has in mind, is that it should contribute 25% to the economy initially. And the Make in India now has been around 10 years. It is a 1 decade of Make in India, where we have seen that India has done very well in electronic sector. Now there are the best companies from the world, they are manufacturing in India, the mobile phones. We have seen that. And manufacturing is one thing which creates a lot of jobs. So what we need to do is we need to focus on MSMEs. It is the micro, small and medium enterprises. that are contributing maximum to the economy. So in that case, I think that government needs to consider few things, like today our MSMEs, they have especially the proprietorship firms, LLP firms, partnership firms.
Yeah, all three.
All three, they have a tax regime of around 33%.
Okay.
But corporate taxes are around 25%. So they are at a disadvantage. So we need to, I think, have a parity. So these small businesses, they need to be given that boost so that they can, invest their money into, again, in their businesses.
Okay.
Second thing is the way the world is changing. India has around 60 million MSMEs as of now. So in that case, that means these are small companies, and any company which is started for the first time is always a small company.
Yeah, of course.
It aspires to become big. So during these infant years, during these primitive years, I think they need a lot of handholding. They need a support. Now, support where? In terms of three areas which are challenges for any MSME. One is like finance, whether they can access cheaper and easy finance for doing their business. Second is technology, whether they have access to the latest technology. And
It's a big input cost.
yeah, a big input cost. And third is the market, access to market. These are primarily three challenges that our MSMEs are facing.
Access to market, could you elaborate on that actually?
You see, access to market is today, imagine a MSME, small business or micro business in any interior or any district of northeastern region, Uttarakhand or Jammu and Kashmir or anywhere else. So he manufactures something, but he doesn't know how to market it.
Okay.
How to get that market? Where is the market
That
for
it's being
that?
produced at a particular location,
Yeah.
whereas the market is somewhere else.
Market is somewhere else.
So like maybe...
Then how do you give them that platform?
Okay.
So in this case, I think a lot has been done through GEM portal. This is government e-marketplace where MSMEs, they register, and maximum PSUs, they buy from the MSMEs only. So therefore, but at the same time, if we have a proper digital infrastructure, right?
Make it much smoother.
Yeah.
Entire operation.
So digital platform like e-platforms can be created. ONDC is one of the greatest revolution in this direction, which also gives market to smaller businesses. So therefore, I think these kind of initiatives need to be given to the MSMEs, and they need to be told. There are many initiatives, but lack of awareness, people don't know how to take advantage from these initiatives of government, which are already available. And I think that a lot of awareness programs are to be done for these kind of initiatives. There are so many nice initiatives that the government has come out with, but
People
lack
are
of
unaware.
awareness, they don't know. So therefore, I think these need to be advertised. There need to be outreach programs from the government end. I think government should more involve association, chamber of commerce like us. So in those kind of initiatives. So this will actually bring a lot of MSMEs on the fore. So they can be reached and they can do their business better. Yeah.
Because I believe the government does provide a lot of support when it comes to even for the first 3 years for a new organization, not an organization, but for new business, for example, whatever format that might be. You don't really have to pay taxes till you become profitable, or for the first 3 years at least.
That scheme was for the startups. Yeah, for startups especially, because Startup India was launched in 2016. And let me tell you, when Startup India was launched, that time we had around 400 startups, registered startups. But when we are talking as of now, we have 175,000 startups registered with
So it shows
DPIIT.
that there's been progress.
That shows that India is the third largest startup ecosystem in the world. And we have more than 115 unicorns. So
which is the
therefore,
largest.
which is very large.
Yeah.
Of course, US and China, they have
But I think we are
larger.
not too far from US and China. I think China is number one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, US is number one, then China is also there. But point is this, it is not that point. It is that the kind of initiatives the government has taken a
Has
decade
shown
ago
result.
or 8, 9 years ago, so that we are reaping the fruits of that. So these are great initiatives, but only thing is they need to be strengthened more. You talked about taxes. I think that as far as taxes is concerned, one, you said that for taxes is like we have also this scheme. Initially, any company which is coming in India for around up to 2024, they need to pay only taxes around 15%, which is, I mean, very, very less if you compare it with the world. So these are some of the great initiatives the government has taken.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you feel about the rupee slide? Do you think that it's worrying for India, or you wouldn't be too concerned at this point?
You see, rupee slide should not be seen as a major concern.
Okay. Why would that?
When the economy grows, then these things are there. You know, it is good for the exports.
Okay.
When the rupee slides,
Of course.
are then exports will further go up, and government has a vision. Ministry of Commerce has a vision to has a target to be around $2 trillion economy in exports. So one more thing I would like to point out through this podcast. Today, our exports, they are doing very well, but 40% of these exports are services sector. So services sector has become very, very important.
Service sector exports.
Service sector, yeah.
Okay. Could you
Service sector export. I'll tell you. So I would like to just bring one point. There is a interest equalization scheme for pre-shipment and post-shipment, which is for MSMEs and for other manufacturers. So what we would like to request is in this budget, so the interest subvention scheme, which is there in pre-shipment and post-shipment for MSMEs and for other manufacturers, the same should be given to the services sector, service sector, because service sector is going to play a great role. And as the economy advances and grows further, there is going to be a bigger pie of services sector.
Of course.
So therefore, service sector is very, very important. I think that if that could be given the interest subvention scheme on pre and post shipment, the equalization scheme that can be given to those service sector also, that will really boost them. Yeah.
And what do you see? Where's the roadmap going for India's growth story in the next 5 years?
You see, India is at the forefront of growth as of right now. It is one of the fastest growing economy in the world. And the way there have been predictions, even PHDCCI has come out with a report which says by 2047, India will be $34 trillion economy. So today we are $4 trillion economy. In next couple of years, we will be fourth largest economy. In maybe next year itself, by the end of this year, we'll be fourth largest economy in the world. Now, just imagine from 4 trillion, 4.5 trillion to 34 trillion. What is the growth? I mean, if there is any economy which has such a burgeoning population, which is one of the biggest market in the world, so many aspiring, ambitious, middle class people, and young country where more than 65% people are below the age of 35 years. I think this has a huge, huge opportunities for everyone to look at in India. It is not only for next 5 years, but also for next 20 years. Next 20, 25 years, I think it is going to be the India story.
So basically, what has happened to China is what we are very easily capable of replicating and more, is what you feel.
We are definitely very capable of replicating what China has done. Definitely, China is a very big economy. At the same time, the way the world is looking towards India right now, the way the kind of initiatives our government has taken, the kind of political stability that you see in India, the kind of legal system that we have, in the sense the faith in the judiciary, and all these things are very, very,
They play an important role
very, very, yeah, these are very,
in
very important.
perception
Any
building.
investor who comes in any country, first thing he sees is whether his investment is safe.
Of course.
So what is the judicial system in the country? So it is world's largest democracy. So therefore, people have that faith. And here I would like to say that we need to see that our states also need to play that proactive role. That's very, very important. Because ultimately the action is to be happen is going to happen only in the
State level,
states.
yeah, of course.
If today anybody wants to put up a factory, any company, so they will only set up a factory in
the
any of
state
the
is
states in the
supportive,
country, right? So in that case, the ease of doing business in the states and the kind of welcome they get, the kind of inviting or the
And
ecosystem,
transparency as well.
ecosystem is there in the state, that'll matter a lot. That'll matter a lot.
Also, what sectors, according to you, are showing the most promise for growth?
You see, there are many sectors. One is, of course, the infrastructure sector.
Okay.
Then there is renewable energy, the green energy, because there is a green transition happening in the country. Urban infrastructure, housing sector, and automobile sector. Now, especially in renewable energy, India has a target of achieving 500 gigawatt by 2030. And we have already set a target of net zero by 2070, and to reduce the carbon emissions by 45% by 2030. What does that mean? That means we need to be sustainable, and there is a green transition which is happening in the country. Imagine 500 gigawatt of renewable energy. So that's a huge.
Yeah.
So that means what are the kind of opportunities that are available here? And every manufacturing unit needs to be sustainable. Rather, sustainability will be at the core of the economic development in the times to come. Now, where Europe is putting CBAM, right? All these taxes are there. And moreover, the way the climate change threats are for Earth. But I think that everybody needs to be sustainable. I think this space, the sustainability, where it is renewable energy, electric vehicles, clean fuel, all these sectors has a great opportunity, tremendous opportunity, and urban infrastructure, smart cities. Because if we want to be sustainable, then our cities need to be totally sustainable, right?
Because they also, they're huge contributors to pollution and to a lot of.
Yeah, transportation sector is a huge contributor to the pollution. I think in that case also you can see that today what is the position in Delhi, in metropolitan cities. I think that in that case we need to go to the cleaner fuel, right? When we go to the cleaner fuel, then everything has to be sustainable. So therefore sustainability will be at the core of the economic development going forward. So we see a lot of opportunity in this sector. Health sector, we see a lot of opportunity in India, health sector.
Because of the growing population.
Growing population, number one. Number two, the outreach to the various masses, outreach to the masses. And some of the great schemes the government has started, like Ayushman Bharat for the poor people. So I think that when these schemes are there, then people need to, they are getting 5 lakh cover. In that case, anybody in any village or poor person, he needs to go for his treatment. Earlier on, he could not even think because he doesn't have that money. But today, at least 5 lakh he has, which is the cover from Ayushman Bharat. So they can get treatment anywhere. So in that case, if we have the penetration of the health infrastructure in those tier 3, tier 4 cities, so you can see what kind of growth is expected in this sector. And then along with the physical infrastructure like hospitals, roads and all which we need, there are medical equipment, there is pharma, there are many other doctors are there. There are many other services which are ancillary to that. Same way in the housing sector. When housing sector grows, 265 ancillary industries also grow with it. Therefore, housing, I mean, after agri sector, it is the housing sector or the construction sector which is largest, generator of jobs in the country. So I think when a lot of money goes into infrastructure, then there'll be a lot of economic activity. Finally, people will get employed, and there'll be money in the hands of people. When there's money in the hands of people, they'll spend.
And
When
the
they'll
roti,
spend,
kapra, makan are the basics that,
yeah, these
the
are the basics, of
yeah,
course.
that
They're
everyone
the
aspires for.
fundamental.
So these will always be at a boom.
They'll always remain at the boom, definitely,
But
anywhere.
also, furthermore, especially at this time,
Especially at this time,
for a
yes, of
developing
course.
country like ours.
Yeah, developing countries like ours and the kind of growth plans we have, the kind of stability is there in our country. I think there are huge opportunities available in the country right now.
So are schemes like PLI and credit guarantee doing justice to the scenario?
You
To
see,
these sectors?
PLI scheme is very good. But only thing is, so far the large companies have been benefited by PLI scheme.
Why would you say that is?
To apply for the scheme, we need
Is there a
lot
paperwork
of
issue?
simplification in the processes.
Okay.
What is happening is a lot of companies who are micro enterprises, like we take example of auto sector. In auto sector, there could be company which is supplying very small things. So in that case, probably sometimes they feel it a tedious job to apply for government schemes. I think that again we need education here. We need the awareness, and more sectors could be added to this PLI scheme. And secondly, you said the credit guarantee. Government today only I was reading newspaper reports that government has cleared the collateral free loan for the MSMEs, right? It was there also earlier also. But what we feel that banks still are
They're
hesitating
hesitant, yeah.
to
Because they
give
like
that collateral free loans.
Yeah.
Here, we have sent a recommendation to Reserve Bank of India that if there could be a help desk that could be provided,
Specifically dedicated to this.
especially dedicated to these collateral free loans. Wherever the MSMEs, they are facing the problem of getting those collateral free loans, they can just simply approach this help desk. That will do a great deal.
Okay.
That will be of great help. I think that's we have also told this to Ministry of MSME. I think that this step will definitely solve this problem to a great extent.
So, what are some of the key policy reforms that PHDCCI is advocating for when it comes to ease of doing business in India?
You see, we have given certain changes for the certain concessions or help support for the MSMEs. We feel that we have more than 6 crore MSMEs. So that is around 60 million MSMEs. So we need to really help them. So one was, of course, one or two things that we have already told you. I said that there are three challenges. One of them is access to technology. We have seen that when you want to grow faster, you want to be efficient, you want to be globally competitive. What is that one thing that can make you globally competitive? It is the technology. When you use the technology today, I mean, people are talking about AI, robotics, all those things. So here, but we are talking about industry 4.0. That means automation. So how the MSMEs, until and unless our MSMEs, they become competitive globally, best of the products, that can come only through technology. So what we have suggested is there could be any MSME who is spending in technology to make his factory efficient, bringing in new technologies, bringing in technologies for energy efficiency or sustainability. They should be given some interest subvention or subsidy of around 15%, and to the maximum of 2 crores. Okay. Suppose they spend 2 crores in modernizing their factory, which could increase the efficiency, and it could make them competitive, then 15%, 30 lakh subsidy can be given to them. So this will help a lot of MSMEs. Why 2 crores? Because when we talk of micro investment is 5 crores. So 2 crores if they spend on this technology, so in that case, that will really make their factory state of art. So I think this is one thing. This will have many advantages. Number one, they will be able to make products which are competitive anywhere
on a
in the
global
world.
scale.
Yeah, global scale. I think this is what we have said. And secondly, we talked about the help desk for MSMEs when they access to loans, access to finance. Third is for access to market. Access to market, of course, the digital infrastructure is very important. So when we handhold our MSMEs, because a lot of awareness programs are to be done at the district level, because the MSMEs are at the district level, smaller
Ultimately,
MSMEs,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
And these are the things which will make them very, very competitive. Then, of course, we have also suggested that there should be proper, there have been many changes from the government side as far as this ease of doing business is concerned. So all these steps will help not only MSMEs, even the people who are investing in our country.
So also, do you feel that maybe by these, helping a few companies out, some MSMEs, and providing them like subsidies, the rest would actually be able to see an example, a live example. So it will
Absolutely.
somehow help in building awareness overall.
Yeah,
of
we
the
have
government
to
schemes.
create an ecosystem.
Yeah.
When initially few people or maybe 1,000 people, they get these subsidies and they see the change in them in various industry clusters, these could be done.
So
And
mindsets change.
your mindset
basically.
will change.
Yeah.
Finally,
and you
it is a
wonder
question
what
of
this person is doing different that they're
different.
making more
How
profits.
come? Yeah. So therefore, it is very, very important.
Okay. So to build a model, basically.
Model is very simple. There was a scheme earlier on where they used to give 15% subsidy up to 1 crore, which has been stopped now. What we are saying that scheme could be the technology access scheme can be for
Brought back.
MSMEs can be brought back with 2 crores and 15% can remain the same. So that means 30 lakh subsidy. So in this case, we can motivate, inspire MSMEs to become modern, to adopt Industry 4.0 technologies, to embed those automation in their work and processes. I think that will make them then create awareness programs for them. So this will make them very competitive. And second thing is this, food processing sector. Let me tell you. Now, we have many good products and they are mostly available in far-flung areas. Like there are interior districts of Uttarakhand, northeastern region. There are many, and even for all Himalayan states, they have many such Ayurveda
and
products, herbs,
like Shilajit and all these.
Shilajit and many other things, which are very, very useful, which need to be marketed.
And
right?
in fact, companies, outside and other nations, companies outside India actually make huge profits out of these, like say Shilajit or some other herbs that are locally grown in certain regions.
Absolutely. So
They market it and sell it at
they market it and
crazy
sell
prices.
it.
Yes.
Just imagine company like Pepsi. They buy one potato, it will cost maybe 10 paisa. But one potato chips is sold for 10 rupee.
Yeah.
Just imagine what is the margin. So that is the power of packaging and food processing, right? These food processing, especially FPOs, these women-led FPOs, they can be, supported by the government. In this case, another thing is we have seen that there are many areas. There's a huge production of many of such products, but packaging facilities are not available there.
True.
We need to inspire, we need to take the packaging industry near to those places where we have such products available and create an ecosystem, create that clusters for food processing sector, food parks and all those, including the packaging industries, give some incentives to them. That's how they'll go there, no?
Of course.
So that's how those we will empower the women entrepreneurs also. We have seen that in northeastern region. These are the women entrepreneurs who are doing a great job. So they need, and government has a great focus in NER, northeastern region. So therefore, I think that there's a great opportunity for those women if they can be supported more. And awareness is very important.
And what would you say are some of the biggest challenges faced by basically exporters today? And how do you think can those be addressed in an efficient manner?
See, for exporters, I think that we keep giving suggestions to Ministry of Commerce, and they are heard very, very proactively by Ministry. Today, let me tell you, government is very proactive. Any issue you bring to the Ministry, then they will definitely look at those things. What we have seen is we have also given this suggestion, which I told you earlier, that 40% is through the service sector, right, for the exports. So those service exports should also be given that interest subvention, benefit. One is this. Secondly, for our exporters, sometimes they need easy access to finance because they need to manufacture those things. I think those facilities will be very, very useful.
Because of course, manufacturing is very capital intensive.
Intensive. So therefore, I think these kind of special fiscal benefits will be very useful.
And what are the organization's key priorities for the coming 2025?
Which organization is it?
For PHDCCI.
PHDCCI. Okay. See, PHDCCI has, we have got 6 basically focus areas. One is agri and agribusiness.
Okay.
And number 2 is MSMEs. Number 3 is renewable energy. Number 4 is infrastructure. And 5 is water. And then is sustainability. Okay. So these are the sector we have got great focus. We feel that sustainability is the one thing where I think we need to make people aware, number 1. Number 2, everything, consciously whatever we are doing, we need to be very sustainable. For this, we have 5 pillar guiding principles at PHDCCI, which is called VOICE.
Okay.
On these principles we are working. VOICE is the question is like anything, whatever we are doing, whether it is creating value for the industry, for the country, or for the people of a country. Then whether it is creating opportunity for the people, for the nation. Third thing is the innovation. I stands in middle. So that means innovation is the central pillar of all our activities. We see innovation. And fourth is collaboration. C is collaboration. Whether we are collaborating with the right stakeholders or not. And fifth is E, that is engagement. So I think that we feel that continuous engagement at various levels, whether it is industry, whether it is farmers, whether it is public, government, policymakers, international. So these engagements are very, very essential. So these 5 pillars that we are working, these are our guiding principles. And we are focusing on that, on keeping that in mind. All those 6 sectors we are focusing and doing our bit.
Okay.
Yeah, and now, especially it is very important. PHDCCI is celebrating 120 years of its legacy in 2025.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. So therefore, this year is extremely important for us. And we are 120 years old organization and have been contributing to the nation in various, even freedom struggle. In whatever, whether industrial policy was made, first industrial policy for our nation, there also we had contributed a lot. So we are coming out with this coffee table book, which will give all the contributions that PHDCCI has made in last 120 years to the nation.
So I'd like to ask you lastly, India has improved its ranking in the Ease of Doing Business Index. What are the gaps that actually still remain? What do you feel are those problems that still need to be solved on an urgent basis?
See,
gaps.
first thing is like our arbitration process in our country. Like it needs to be faster. It needs to be streamlined. Second is IPR laws.
Okay.
Third is labor laws. These are the because all this labor is state subject again.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that these are the areas we need to work on, and we need to see that any dispute regard any financial dispute in companies or anything, there has to be a process where it has to be addressed
on an urgent basis.
on an urgent basis. So a country has done a lot. I mean, there are commercial courts today which are especially focusing on these commercial disputes. But India is a huge country, and we
it's
need
mostly
to
arbitration that actually
arbitration is
solves these
definitely
disputes.
very important. We need to streamline those. Then any company who is coming from outside, make sure that their intellectual property rights are intact. So that's very, very important. And labor laws are extremely important.
How would you what do you mean by labor laws? Do you think that they should be maybe eased? They should be more structured? What do you mean?
Yeah, they need to be more organized.
Okay.
We need to take care of our population also. At the same time, we need to take care of the industry also. There needs to be a balance in labor laws, so that neither the industry is in a disadvantageous position, nor are people who are working there. There has to be proper balance. It needs to be a win-win situation
for
both. So that will really solve this problem to a great extent. And all land bank needs to be digitized. In many states, it is already there.
Happening, yes.
You have seen that Gujarat and
many other
places, it is there. So when somebody is looking for a piece of land to set up a factory, so he should have a very clearly defined process, and it should be time bound. Even if there are 50 sanctions to be taken, in that case, it has to be online. If we use more of technology, needs to be virtual, more of digitized manner, that will make the life simpler and processes streamlined. That will help the investors. They don't have to face any problem. Like today, I think that important thing is, number one is convenience for anybody.
Very true.
It needs to be customer centric. In India, if you talk of industry, business, customer centric. For the country, citizen centric. Anything, that is the convenience. Secondly is speed. I think the most important thing in today's world is, number one, speed with which you identify the opportunities and challenges. Speed with which you decide what to do with them. Number three, the speed with which you implement those things on the ground.
Very true.
These three S is very, very important. I think that will make a difference. This is the mindset we all have to work in this 21st century. Yeah, I think which is going to be the century of our country, century of India.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for taking out the time to join us for this conversation.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed watching this podcast, then please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.